In this segment of the show, we always do something lighter in nature. We talk about some of our county and colony history. So our notable records for the month begin with the Liberty Tree. We try to connect them to the holidays this month as the Martin Luther King Day holiday. And the Liberty Tree was a site in Brockton around which people that were escaping on the Underground Railroad, escaping slavery, would come to meet people that would take them on their way, help them primarily escape to Canada. The owner of the property was a man named Edward Bennett, and he had a barn on this property. It is now known as Frederick Douglass Way, but it was always a main street in downtown Brockton. And there was an old sycamore tree there that people would see as a landmark and gather together. It is a very important site, and that's why it was renamed Frederick Douglass Way, and the tree was damaged, but there's a plaque on the site, and they're regrowing that tree on the site. The second one is another very recognizable site. This month had a milk promotion holiday. There's a skim milk bridge, and it's on the line of Bridgewater and West Bridgewater. It was a roadway discontinued by the county commissioners in 1875. It spans the town river near what is old Maple Street, and it is a dry stone constructed bridge, and it's a very interesting place to visit. If you go along old Maple Street, you can park your car and walk over to this skim milk bridge. It is part of the Hasiotos Mass Wildlife Trail, and it's part of the Bay Circuit Trail, but it's kind of an interesting piece of a different era when things were different. And the reason it was called the Skim Milk Bridge is because the way the water rushed through that area, the fine white silt would bubble up and it looked like skimmed milk. So the next notable record we have, we always try to promote some of our great resources in Plymouth County. It is the Albert Norris Reservation, which is in Norwell. It's property that leads down to the North River. There's a big parking spot for you to park there near Norwell Center. It was a gift donated to the town, to the trustees of reservations, rather, in honor of her late husband, Alfred, who was a World War II veteran, served in the Navy. And when Alfred died, all those parcels were combined, and it is a great place to walk children through for the ecology of the area. Eleanor had been a first grade teacher who taught in Hanson. It's 100 acres of very tranquil property under the ownership and management of the trustees of reservation. And last but not least, since the Plymouth 400 celebration of the Plymouth 400, we've been promoting some of the Plymouth colony history. In this particular one, there's a number of things we're talking about. One is the ban on horse racing. If you raced horses, you would be fined or put in the stocks for an hour. If your animals tread on other people's property, if you didn't collect them after you were notified, the people whose property you trampled on could sell those animals and use the proceeds from that to pay their damages, and surplus would go back to you. It's just a sign of the way things were treated at that time. And our colonial records are fascinating. We have them on the second floor of the Registry of Deeds in our Plymouth Colony Room, and they're on display the last Friday of every month, which will be January 30th. So I want to thank PAC TV for the job they do in letting us share our information. We're into a new year. Hopefully the new year generates a lot more real estate activity than 2023 did. But either way, we'll be following it with you every month, along with the assistance of PAC TV. Thank you. We'll see you next month.